Hey guys, it's William here, and I'm going to show you the new features of the latest beta version of Wusik sequencer, the SQ200. And the new feature that's very important is audio tracks. So now if I press M to create a new track, I have the instrument tracks, the audio tracks, and the MIDI tracks. And I also have LED indicators for MIDI input, output, and a view meter using LEDs. So MIDI input now shows the indicator. And let's try out a bit the new audio track option. The audio tracks can be regular files like MP3, WAV, AIFF, and also acid wave files. In this case of the last option, the acid wave files, they are going to be looped on the project tempo, and they loop perfect on the tempo. So let's try a few files just to show how it works. If I select the audio track, I'm going to press 3 for audio track, and it's going to show me the folders that I have set up here on the Wusik logo, samples folders. And you can see that I have two folders here that I have set up, which is the two that's showing there, my wave samples and the acid tests that I'm using to test the acid files. So if I press 2, it's going to load that folder. I can use up and down to check out the files. And I'm going to test just drums, and this file is 96 bits per minute, but it's an acid file, so it's going to check some information on the file. It's going to resample to the project tempo, which is 120 bits per minute. So you can see that it's playing perfectly. And if I press 2 again, it's going to stop, or if I press stop on the sequencer, it stops. So I press 2 to start playing and stop to stop, or just 2 and 2. It's the same thing. And to load, I have to press OK, or the Enter return key on my keyboard. Then it's going to load and create an event that's the exact size it needs to play correctly. So if I loop this section, you can hear that it's looping perfectly. And if I go here on the right, I can see my audio files. So each audio track is actually an audio bank. So it can have several files or just one file. And you can then share this with different tracks. So let's say I want to load another sample here on this audio track. I just press M again and 3 for insert new. And I'm going to load this bass line here. So I just press OK, and there it is. The bass line is there too. You can see that the bass line is a bit longer. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stretch a bit this guy here. This sample. Okay, no, it's not long. It's just that I was not on the start of the sequence. Sorry, it's the same length. So they're going to play now together. Just let me do one thing first. Let me go back to my. No, I can do this here. I'm going to activate my limiter so it doesn't clip my audio, and I'm going to loop again. And I'm using a very high sophisticated code to do this resample. So if I change the tempo, it tells me it's going to process the file, and it has processed it already. So it's not real time. So it works very good. So another thing I can do, if I go on settings, I have my track settings here, my audio settings, and I have all the settings for the audio. And if I go on settings again, now I'm on the audio sample settings. So I have my two files here, the just drums and the bass line. And you can see that I can adjust the pitch, the trim start and trim end. The stretch is already selected because it's an ACID file, which has 16 bits. It's selected to loop, so if I add an event that is longer, it's going to continually looping and it's going to follow the tempo. And I can also select to delete this file if I want, but I'm not going to delete. I'm going to change the pitch first. I'm going to make it 2 times higher, which is going to sound a bit strange, but I'm going to use Ctrl to fine adjust the tuning. Okay, so it's going to process. You can hear that's pitch stretching, so it doesn't change the length of the file. It keeps playing on time, and well, that's pretty much it for the audio tracks. So now I have this audio track. I can add some effects here. So let me check what else can I talk about the audio track. Another option, sorry, another option, let me drink some water, is that by default, if you check here, by default you have the options, copy audio files to project. So if I check my files here, I'm going to go to projects. Right now I don't have a project saved, so I go to a temporary project file, which should be this one. So it's already copied the file. So if I save this project, let me save it. Okay, so it's saved. Now I'm going to go to projects. This is the file. I didn't name the file, so that uses just the date. So I have my audio files there already. This is a good feature because if you are working with several files, it stays on the project file, and when you make a backup of the project, it has all the files already there, so you don't have to worry about where the files are and stuff like that. I think that's pretty much it. Another thing about the audio track, let me create another track here. So now I'm going to create another track. You can see that's the audio and below that's new. Because if I create just an audio track, it's going to allow me to select, what have I done? I pressed the wrong key, sorry. I can go here and select if I want to use that audio bank that I created before, which has already 2 files. So I can go here and just go add event. I can just mess around with that if I want. But if I want to create a new audio bank to load a different file, I'm going to select for a new. Then I can go and browse other files. This is not a looper file, so this is not going to play to the project tempo. But if I go to settings, I think this has 8 bits. Let's check. I'm going to turn on stretch. Yeah, that's pretty much correct now. Yeah, that's a big mess, but you get the idea. I can select to stretch a file that's not an ACID file. I just have to know how many bits is on the file, and it has to be perfect the file can't have any sort of extra end on the file, so it doesn't work then. You can also stream a big file, so let me try a new file here. So I have some test files that I was testing before. So this is a very long file. This is an example of a Japan audio CD. So it's a very, very long file. So it's going to stream from disk instead of loading to memory. You can see that it goes very long. Let me check how many bars is that. So it's 6 times 16 measures, so it's very long. So it's obviously not tied to the tempo, because it's just a file that's being streamed. But I can change the start and the end position and stuff like that. So okay, this is the new audio track. Believe it or not, it's a lot of work to create this, and especially the ACID files to make the code resample the file. It's not real time, so you can see that when I do a change, it shows view process. You can see view process, and when I release it, 2 seconds later, processing. So it's not real time, but it's still a great addition. Well, I think that's pretty much this. Another thing I changed on the audio, not just on the audio track, but the audio and instrument track. If you go on the right here, you can see that it's track fade in and track fade out. I add this option, so it's very good to make an introduction and ending of the song without having to mess around with other programs. But it's also good if you want to introduce some new sound and don't want to automate the volume of the plugin, because this also is sample perfect, so it sounds better than automation. And I changed a bit the keys here on the top and how they work. I have updated the manual for that, because this layout is just way much better. It works much better, and I think that's pretty much it. I don't know what else I can say. You can watch the other video if you want more details on how to add instruments, tracks and MIDI tracks. Just watch the other video. The interface is a bit different, but everything else is the same, and it gives you an idea. And here on the new MIDI keyboard that I have created, the piano view, sorry, you have some a bit more options. How you can change the position of an element, and also the length of an element, and you can also hold and press delete to delete the element. So those are very nice additions. So you also have the zoom in and zoom out. Some more options for the zooms. And that's it. That's it for this video. I hope you guys appreciated the new audio track, which can add a lot of new features to your project. And watch the other video if you want to know more about the Wusik SQ200. And please give your ideas, your findings, test out the beta demonstration version. And that's it. Thanks for watching, guys.